Hello and welcome to the Enterprise World magazine. Today we are honored to feature a true visionary in holistic wellness and natural healing, Tamika Moseley, the founder and CEO of Everything Health. Tamika's journey into holistic wellness is deeply personal. When her son was diagnosed with sickle cell disease, she has refused to accept the conventional limitations of treatments. Through extensive research, dedication, and an unwavering belief in the power of plant based healing, she transformed not only her son's health but also the lives of thousands worldwide. With Everything Health, Tamika has built a platform that blends herbal medicine, nutrition, and emotional well being, empowering people to take control of their health naturally. From her 90-day total health transformation program to her hot tea and Tamika's podcast and humanitarian work in Africa, her impact extends far beyond than conventional medicine. Tamika, we are absolutely thrilled to have you with us today and welcome to the Enterprise World Magazine show.
Thank you so much. And thank you for that warm, amazing welcome. I appreciate every word that you spoke. And I'm so honored to be here.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have you with us. As I previously mentioned in the introduction, that your journey into holistic healing began with your son's health and health
Mhm.
challenges. So, can you share that experience and also what ultimately led you to the creation of Everything Health?
Yeah. So when I received the news back in 2008 that my son has a fatal blood disease, and I was totally, my world shattered into a million pieces because, first of all, I knew it was a possibility because I knew that my husband at the time, he also had the SC disease and I had AS trait. So, you know things can be a possibility, but once it's real, it kind of hits home. So it was a very devastating time for me because I've lived before I had children and I knew people who suffered from sickle cell. I knew people who died from sickle cell. So it was a very emotional time for me because now I'm walking in these footsteps with my child. And the first year of his life, he was in the hospital every 2 months. So if you could just think of every mother's worst nightmare, right? Because it's like I couldn't do anything. He's in pain, he's hurting, and it's nothing that I could do. But I knew somewhere deep down inside that God did not bring us here for us to suffer day by day by day. I've always had that belief in the back of my head. And after reading Revelation 22:2, the herbs are for the healing of the nations. And just having the knowledge, I mean, we all know all of our ancestors at one time partake in the herbs for medicine, for food. There's studies and data that goes back 60,000 years. So I've always known that. Even my mother growing up in the country in the 1930s and 40s, even her grandmother used herbs. So it's always kind of been a part of my life, just that knowing, but I never had to use it until I had a child born with the fatal blood disease. So that's how it started out. And once the doctors wouldn't give me any answers, and he kept being in the hospital every 2 months, it was at the end of the year. Then he started receiving blood transfusions because with sickle cell, the body doesn't produce red blood cells. That's why their blood gets stuck and sticky. And yeah, he received multiple blood transfusions. But after the second blood transfusions is when I just said to myself, I am not doing this anymore. This is the last time that I will be in the hospital with my son. And I meant it. Now I didn't know what I was going to do at that time, but I made that statement. And yeah, so that's when I started introducing him to herbs like liquid chlorophyll, ginkgo biloba, beets, beetroot juice, things that actually help the body produce red blood cells, and other things. But 3 years went by, he had no crises. I was like, I was so excited. I was so grateful. I was so happy. Um, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So the first thing I wanted to do was tell other parents. so, so I started an online blog about my journey, my story. And when he made 3 years no crises, that's when I decided to write my first book, Sickle Cell Natural Healing, a Mother's Journey. And just to tell my story, because it's millions of people all over the world dealing with the same thing and the same pains, the same agony. They're watching their children suffer. They don't know what to do. So that's why I decided to write the book. And I said to myself, if I'm able to reverse, or not reverse, but manage sickle cell, well, then we must can reverse and manage any disease. So once I made that statement, I began to reverse stage 4 cancer, Lyme disease, liver disease, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, heart disease, arthritis. I mean, I even had a corona box that I created and reversed thousands of COVID cases. So, but back then, once I started reversing other chronic illness, diabetes, hypertension, I just thought to myself, let me just launch a company because this now is my passion. Understanding that herbs are our true medicine and we can change so many lives if we just implement this, if we knew how to do it. I couldn't sit by and just watch the world suffer while I'm over here and my son is doing great and I'm just, healing people. It just wasn't right. So I had to write a book and I had to start my company and let the world know we can live in this world and be healthy. We can manage chronic disease. We definitely can. So that's my true passion, and that's my message today to get to people, for people to understand that. And not only healing the physical body, because we have 4 bodies. We have a physical body, a mental body, emotional body, and a spiritual body. The other part of that equation that the world didn't get educated on is how to use our own divine powers because we can speak things over our life. I've been doing this for 4 years. I stopped blood clots on my body, but anything that happens to me, headache, stomach ache, whatever, I've learned to just be positive, have faith, and just say, I'm so happy and grateful. I don't have a headache. The headache is gone. Just speaking those words are energy. We are energy. This entire universe is energy and electrons. So words have energy. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he will be. So it's so, I know it seems like it can't be real, but it's only because we haven't been taught that way. But speaking it into existence is also a very important aspect because our cells can hear us and it's very important to speak positive over your health so we can receive the same thing back, like the placebo effect. Have you heard of the placebo effect? People go in for all chronic issues and they only took a sugar pill does not heal chronic issues, and for over 100 years these people in the placebo effect, they all healed their diseases, and they look back, it's just a sugar pill. So what happened was they had a strong belief. They believed they were already healed. So yes.
That's completely fantastic. And I think you've had a magical journey and you've literally, like dreamt and made it a reality. So like
Yes.
congratulations on, helping so many people out there. So
Thank you.
your approach to wellness goes beyond just physical health, as you just mentioned, right? So it includes emotional, mental, spiritual well-being, and
Yes.
also emotional well-being. So why is this holistic perspective so important?
The holistic portion is so important because that's who we are. We are the universe. We are 70% water, 26% mineral, and the rest is air and fire. So that's who we are. That's our true, authentic medicine. And that's why it's important that we have to shift back to nature because taking petroleum based pharmaceuticals, that's not going, you can't heal your body by putting toxins inside the body. It can't be done that way. So it's important that we turn back to nature like we were once before the colonizers arrived here. Okay.
Well said on that. So, like when we talk about healing and medicines, the market is continuously flooded with many products, so you really don't know whom
Mhm.
to trust, and that's the reason many people remain very skeptical about plant-based medicines and natural healing. So what would you say to those who hesitate to explore these alternatives?
I would tell people to, first of all, listen to your own spirit within, because I know we don't hear this a lot, but we are truly being divinely guided or guided divinely. And there is a voice inside of us, there is a spirit within us. But I would say, do your research, right? We have to do our research. And I know there's so much information out there, but what I tell people, like the basic things that people can actually research, two things or three things. Well, let me just say four. Four things we have to really pay attention to: the immune system and our gut. If these two are out of whack, if these two are not healthy, that's going to open the door to so many chronic illnesses. 70% of our immune system is found in our gut. So it's so important that we continue to heal and boost the gut. Probiotics or sauerkraut, fermented foods, things that is going to heal the gut. There's an herb called fireweed. Fireweed rebuilds the entire ecosystem. It heals the entire digestive tract. It kills candida inside the body. So we want things that's going to really heal our gut and also boost our immune system with natural antibiotics, things such as vitamin C, golden seal, astragalus, echinacea, mullein. There's so many different natural antibiotics out there. So I would say you definitely want to focus on the immune system and the gut, and then parasites and inflammation, because mostly all diseases on this planet all exist because of pathogens and parasites. That's it. And if we knew how to destroy the parasites and the pathogens, that would eliminate disease altogether. So it's definitely about knowing. So we have to understand that we have to unlearn a lot of things, and we do have to relearn. But I would just say, go off your gut feeling, your intuition, and do your diligence. Do your due diligence, do your research. When people start researching, they'll be surprised of the information that they'll find that resonates with them. But more importantly, definitely listen to your spirit within.
That's quite mind blowing and also very eye opening, because
Yes,
there's
it
so much
is.
that goes into health, but we really don't seem to know much about it. So, your 90
Right.
total health transformation program has helped many
Yes.
individuals take control of their well-being. So, what makes it very
Mhm.
different from the conventional health programs out there?
Say mine is definitely different because, again, I don't just talk about the physical body. I don't just tell people. Now, I used to, like when I first started out, because I didn't know about the other bodies. So in the beginning, I did just only talk about the physical. But the amazing thing about my program now, I incorporate the physical, the mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. I talk about each body, and I talk about how to heal each body. And one of the things over here that humanity has forgotten, because it has not been taught to us on purpose, is loving everyone. You see, if we don't love everyone on this planet, everyone, that's going to cause a disease inside the body. If we don't learn how to forgive our brothers and sisters, that's going to cause a disease in the body. In the medical books, unforgiveness is classified as a chronic illness, but they never wanted us to know this. So think about all the millions of people in the world who is dealing with anger or hatred or bitterness or don't like this person, or it's a lot of that going on, but they don't realize they're causing disease in their body, because what you do to one, you do to yourself. We're all connected, we're all brothers and sisters, and we're all the children of God, period. No matter where you are on this planet, So we have to learn to love others as ourselves because whatever we put out, we get it back. We put bitterness out, we're going to have arthritis. If we live and dwell in anger for all the days, we're going to have heart attacks. If we live in hatred, eventually that person will get cancer. So every sad emotion is linked to a chronic issue. This is why we have to understand this and stop and just go back to loving everyone so we can heal the body and heal the world.
That's truly fantastic. So your humanitarian work in Africa is inspiring. So how is everything health making a global impact? And also, what drives you to talk wellness beyond borders?
Well, everything health, I have to say, I've been having a passion for Africa as well as other countries as well, Asia, because there's people out there suffering all over in other countries. But Africa has always been close to my heart because I was there 8 years ago. And Africa is the one place on this continent that is still dying in large numbers. Millions are still dying from malaria and HIV. And we're now in Africa reversing HIV in 3 days, reversing malaria in 2 days. And it's just, I know the truth. I mean, I've always known the truth, but because of different political people in these positions, I was not able to move like I am today. But now things are lightening up. We have freedom of speech again. We can live our dreams and passions again without nobody condemning us. And now that I have that chance, I have to do it. You know, I was in Africa 8 years ago, healed a lot of people. I went last year, treated 600 people, 600, and all of them healed. So this is something that I can't walk away from, you know, kind of like when you know who you are, you can't walk away from that. So I have to continue to go back to help heal these people and continue on that work. And so actually this week I'm launching a business in Africa because since I left from last year, they have still I send stuff over there, different herbs and supplements, and they have still been doing this work. An entire year has gone by and they're still over there reversing HIV, diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, Gorders. Uh, it's truly amazing. So now I'm launching a business where they'll always have access to these products and supplements. So now they can make money while we're healing the people in Africa.
That's fabulous, and I think that is real empowerment out there. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
like amazing. So through everything health, you've built a very strong and trusted brand. So what were some of the key challenges in scaling your business while staying true to your mission?
One of my biggest challenges, of course, has always been people around me not really believing and trusting and having faith in God's medicine. That has been one of my biggest challenges. And it's okay because if you think about it, we have not been taught. They didn't teach us about herbs and how to heal the body and what they do. They taught us pharmaceuticals. So to their defense, I definitely understand and I get it because if you don't know anything about a certain topic, you're going to have a certain level of fear. So I wouldn't say that was a challenge because it was just that's their opinion and this is my opinion, and eventually they'll come around, you know. But one of the main challenges that I would say that I really had that impacted my business was during COVID. I created a COVID box and sold thousands of them and reversed a lot of coronavirus cases. And it was only probiotics, D3, K2, magnesium, cordyceps, ginger, just basic things to boost the immune system, heal the gut, and kill the infection. And once the FDA found out about it, they emailed me and pretty much said I need to stop or they will fine me $43,000. So that was the biggest impact to my business because back in that, I think that was in 2023. No. That was in 2020. So 2020, that happened. And I had to just shut everything down. I had to shut everything down, my website. And so that was a very hard time. I lost a lot of business because I was off the internet. People couldn't find me. They didn't know where I went. So that was a major, major impact. But today I have definitely regained all of that. My supplements are now back out online. Everybody knows where I am now, and they're back to being healed, you know? So yeah, that was one of the biggest challenges.
That's awesome that you withstood many challenges, and also you've fight
Mhm.
and like defied all of the odds. So congratulations there.
Yes.
So,
Thank
what
you.
is that one piece of advice that you like to give to individuals who want to embrace a very healthier lifestyle, but feel they always are very overwhelmed by conflicting information that's on the internet today?
Yes. I would tell people to slow down, take some deep breaths. By the way, deep breathing is so important. Something else we don't understand. And I'm telling people to take deep breaths because every time we slow down and take deep breaths, we are filling our body up with oxygen. And oxygen alkalines the body, and oxygen heals the body. And it will allow us to think better, to think more clearly. So I would first say, slow down, take some deep breaths, and love yourself. Love yourself. Because we'll be surprised. It's a psychological warfare going on. And I know we think we're in the physical world and that's all that matters, but we are spiritual beings. And as a spiritual beings, we should be using our spiritual powers again so we can know what that feels like. But to slow down, to take some deep breaths on a daily basis and do your research, of course, and just know that going back to nature, that is it, because that's where we started from. And just try to develop a different type of belief pattern. We got to understand that we have to change our paradigm. We have to let go of old belief systems. And we have to understand, first of all, understand what has happened to us. Understand that pharmaceuticals are the third leading cause of death today. And all the research is out there. So we have to put all these pieces together so we can understand what has happened to us. So we can try to get over that fear. Because as long as we have fear, it's going to be hard to move forward. So that's why I talk about fear, because otherwise we're going to continue to do the same things over and over. But definitely do your research, and then people will become more and more familiar with it. Listen to your intuition and just know that the herbs are for the healing of the nations.
That's superb. So, this brings me to the last question, Tamika. Looking ahead, what's next for everything health? And also any initiatives, any new initiatives or innovations that are in the pipeline?
Well, wow, so many amazing things are happening right now. I'm actually traveling to Sri Lanka, South Asia, May the 4th, and I'll be receiving the World Peace Medallion Award. And I'll also be receiving my doctorate degree it's an honorary for my humanitarian work at the end of the year. My podcast, that's going to be major because it's going to be aired on over 20 different platforms. So this will give me a voice to continue to speak my truth, because only the truth can set us free. And then just continuing on the business, the work in Africa, and continuing on to travel from country to country to country, because I'm not stopping at Africa. My biggest goal is traveling to all the countries in the world, healing all my brothers and sisters, and also educating them on the truth about their own divine powers within them as well. And speaking about love and forgiveness, because that's a huge one today that we didn't get. So that's definitely high on my list. But I would say that is it for now. But I know there's going to be so much more amazing things happening. So I'm excited and definitely looking forward to all of them.
Yes, and also many, many congratulations on the achievements and the awards that you're going to win in the near future. I
Thank
think
you.
you totally deserve them.
Thank you so much.
So, Tamika, I just want to give you a little word of thanks. So, thank you so much for sharing your incredible journey and insights with us today. I think your commitment to holistic healing and natural wellness is transforming lives and reshaping the way people are thinking about health currently. So, to all of our
Yes.
viewers, if you're looking to take control of your well being and explore the power of plant based healing, be sure to check out Everything Where Health at everythinghealth.com. Stay tuned to the Enterprise World magazine to know more about such inspiring leaders and stories of visionary entrepreneurs and leaders like Tamika all across the world. So, thank you for watching, and also remember that your health is your greatest wealth.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yes, you too. Take care and have a great day ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
The only thing is my website is actually dot live. It's not dot com, so it's dot live. But I'm sure they can just maybe edit it out or put it at the bottom of whatever.
Yeah,
But thank you.
yes,
Okay.
I will redo that part and send it across.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed it and have a great rest of your day.
Yes, you too. And it was lovely meeting you. And I think you're a very, very courageous woman. And I wish you all the best
Thank you.
for your son as well.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yes, you too. Take
Bye
care.
bye.